Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love MMA as much as I do. Shout out to the UFC and Brian Ortega. He's back. He's fighting Yair Rodriguez in a rematch from the fight he had at this point almost 2 years ago. Brian Ortega definitely can win this fight. And look, my prediction has nothing to do with the first fight. I mean, it wasn't much of a fight, to be honest. He did dislocate his shoulder, and anything could have happened past that if it didn't happen. I'm going to go with Yair Rodriguez, and a big part of it is because Yair has been active. He's fought 2 fights since that fight. He beat Josh Emmett by submission, and he got TKO'd by Volkanovski. And neither guy was able to beat Volk. They both lost 2 title fights, undisputed title fights. But the fact that Yair has been very active, I'm going to give him the edge in this fight. And again, this has nothing to do with the first fight. And Ortega hasn't fought since then, so he's probably going to have some ring rust. And to be honest, I do think the ground advantage goes to Ortega because he's naturally a jiu-jitsu guy. Even though he's proven he can knock guys out on the feet and do some damage standing up, I give the stand-up advantage to Yair Rodriguez. And even if they go to the ground, I know Yair can win that fight. He proved it when he fought Josh Emmett and he submitted him. Got a submission win and won the interim title. So give me Yair Rodriguez. I think Yair, because he's been active and Ortega has not. Ortega hasn't fought in almost 2 years, and he hasn't won a fight in almost 3 years. So that's not good. And this fight's in Mexico City. I guess you give the home field advantage to Rodriguez. So should be a good fight. I do think Brian Ortega could win the fight, especially on the ground, if he's able to get a dominant position and keep Yair from submitting him off his back. But again, it's just hard for me to picture him winning that fight after he hasn't fought in a while and he hasn't won in forever. So I think Yair wins. As far as how he wins, give me Yair by TKO. I see this fight being very competitive coming into the third. And this is a 5-round fight, by the way. So shout out to Dana White for making that happen. I just think Brian Ortega is going to have a lot of success standing up. He's going to want to prove a point. But I think he'll be overly aggressive. And Yair is very tricky on the feet. Even Volk admitted that into that fight. At some point, he managed to take him down because he was able to outmaneuver Yair on the feet. And at one point, I forgot what point it was, but Yair was going for a head kick or doing something crazy. And Volk prepared for it very well to avoid getting knocked out with that kick, even though he dominated the fight. And to be honest, outside of those 2 submission attempts Ortega had, he pretty much got dominated in that fight too. So with that being said, give me Yair by TKO in the 3rd round. I think Brian Ortega is going to be too aggressive. He's going to be a little sloppier on the feet at some point and try to go into a brawl mode. And I think Yair will be able to counter something and hit him with a big head kick and put him out.